They came down from the walled city without warning, always dressed in the finest smooth leather tunics, stained red for their king. Always heavily armed and always hungry. The soldiers raided, taking anything and everything in the name of the crown. Livestock and harvest bounty from the south, steel, precious gems, silver and gold mined in the east, timber from the west, and women from all. I feel it. He thwacked our old mare Dorn, but she was no match for them, even if she wasn't pulling our wagon. There's no other road, I said, knowing what would come next. Xavier grimaced. Hide yourself until nightfall, then meet me at the village tavern. Take the back way. Some of this lot may wind up there. At least he didn't sound nervous. Understood. I knew it was expected. This happened at least once a month. I checked my dagger was in my boot. Whatever you do, Maggie, don't be late. Performance starts just after sundown. I know. The road bent. Have I ever let you down? I gave him my best cheeky grin. There's always a first time. Xavier shoved me out of the wagon. I rolled down the short hill into a shady glen, scooting behind a thick tree with low-hanging branches I could easily climb. It had the benefit of colourful fall leaves that refused to bow to burgeoning winter, giving good cover. Once perched above sightline, I heard Xavier singing. He did that to keep the soldiers on his trail. Xavier was a strange old man, putting himself at risk for me. I was nothing to him, no relation at all. A barely whelped foundling who wandered out of the woods, lost. I hadn't been old enough to speak or remember how to get home. Xavier lived a gypsy life, travelling here and there, performing magic tricks for handouts. He had no reason to take on a tiny child. To hear him tell the tale, he fed me that night, and like a stray dog, I followed him forever after. That was it. He was stuck with me. Soft-hearted sucker. And I would never let him down. My job was simple, really. As soon as I was old enough to hold things without dropping them, I became his magician's assistant, helping with props and passing the collection pot. Tonight was a big night for us. The past 6 months, the earnings pot had barely made enough to feed Dorn. Drought devastated the southern farms. There was little food to be had, and what was to be had was expensive. We'd eaten nothing but what we could scavenge from places that had already been raked over. Berries, watercress, fish, and the occasional windfall of a squirrel. The last 4 alehouses were mostly empty, but this night would be different. Ships had pulled in only last night, so the marauders' pockets would be heavy, and they would be drinking their fill at the Lazy Storm, the only tavern in the western seaside village. The sots would be drunk, happy to be on land, and lulled into a dream state with full bellies. If they didn't shill a bit of pirated silver for their performance, it would be easy to take it. As expected, within seconds, horse hooves and wagon wheels exited the road, moving into the field on the other side of the glen. Wagon wheels rolled. I saw a team of 12 horses harnessed to an enormous, mandarin-coloured metal cage grind to a halt on the other side of the glen. I was too high to see what was inside. Footsteps approached, growing louder by the second. I held my breath as a beefy soldier removed his helmet, throwing it at the cage. Blood trickled down the back of his neck. I'm going to cut off every one of that rat's claws. He pulled his sword. A snivelling, skinny boy about my age limped past the tree and around the soldier standing in his way. Fresh blood stuck his scraggly brown hair to his forehead. His grey linen clothes shredded as if he'd been attacked by a wild dog. No, you won't. You will stay away from it, Moldork. Moldork slid his sword up against the boy's throat, backing him up. Why don't you try and stop me, Perig, you pissant? His words whistled as though he was missing a front tooth. The soldier shoved Perig through thorny bushes that stood between them and the metal cage, rousing squeaky, helpless yelps, then followed him with determination, disappearing from view as well. This was my chance to get away. I climbed down as silently as possible, relieved when my feet